Hello, I'm Sergeant Host Eric, and this is Lieutenant Rachel. Welcome to
Type Police.
Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type Police, Type Police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or Type Police. And welcome back to the Type Police. So today we've got in our sights a person named Eric Wen. That's not Eric Wen, but he's got like 50,000 subscribers, and he's a personality analyst who reacts to things. So let's react to him and see what our reaction is. Apparently he's an INTP, is what he purports to be. Let's give him a shot.
In today's video, let's try and figure that out.
I meant to do that, and then what happened?
Oh, you don't remember?
Well, I remember, but I'd like to hear you.
Okay, so the first personality pattern I noticed watching Emma is she checks in a lot when she's speaking. Do you see how she's constantly looking over at people, paying really close attention to other people's faces, their emotional reactions?
I'm gonna act him off the screen anyway. Just get him out of here. But I mean, was that intimidating, or did you find that particularly hard?
Interesting.
Your
yeah.
comedic realm.
Oh.
Like in this clip, do you see this? How she's staring, really sort of scanning the other person's face, their body language, and she has this sense, this intuition about how to adjust herself to accommodate other people's reactions or make other people feel good. Watching Emma, there were a lot of really strong, loud, obvious clues for the same personality superpower we saw with Zendaya, something called extroverted feeling. Extroverted feeling is a specific way of prioritizing things, sorting things out, that really likes to think about people dynamics, social interactions, how we all emotionally and socially impact each other. Something you'll see a lot with all the FJ personality types that use extroverted feeling all the time is they're really good at understanding and managing the emotions and expectations going on around them. Doing that type of people adjusting and sorting is very intuitive for them. It actually makes them really, really happy.
I think that's why comedy was always such a joy for me, because I didn't have to think about it. And getting to make people laugh was the most rewarding feeling ever, my whole life.
The way that Emma uses her extroverted feeling, it really caught my attention because it's actually very different from the other FJ personality types that we've looked at before on this channel.
Give it to your mom? How good are you?
Yeah,
How cool are you?
what am I-
You love your brother, you're good to your mom.
I am the best
Stop
person
it.
ever.
You're the best person ever, man.
So nice.
This joking around, it's super loose and authentic, but it's still extroverted feeling. Do you see how she's using her people awareness, social intuition to make other people laugh, to synergize with other people, how she's adjusting herself to the emotions and reactions of other people around her? There's so much more to extroverted feeling than just being super polite or a rule follower all the time. It actually can be really playful, really fun, and authentic.
And I would smell menthol, and it sort of made me think that I was in like a wide
Okay. I mean, he's not wrong in his analysis of her. It would surprise me that an SE polar person would start right in on SE data, which is to say, he's looking at her physical behavior as an indication of her FE responsiveness and FE data search, I guess you might say. But it's not inconceivable, given that he's making these kind of videos, that he's habituated himself to asking this kind of questions. So far, he hasn't really said a whole hell of a lot. This is kind of like for beginner stuff, I guess. But it's not wrong, per se.
When he's talking about, like, I gotta see more.
Okay. I will say this. He's chosen to look the part with the glasses and the affect and the gamer chair, and so he's that shows a certain amount of FE awareness, but that's not definitive itself either way. All right, let's watch some more.
Or what things basically feel like or sound like that having an effect on her. That's super interesting. That's sort of good at visualizing. Like when she's describing things, she seems to have this really strong awareness of what things physically look like, how things were positioned, how things were oriented or placed. I noticed a lot of Emma's stories and jokes actually involve a lot of vividly describing the real life experience of things, what she was noticing, what it was like for her. All these clues together point to Emma being a personality type that uses something called extroverted sensing, a personality superpower that likes to explore and engage with the outside world in a sort of physical sensory way. Personality types that use extroverted sensing all the time are really good at being in the moment, reacting to things. They're really good at paying close attention to, whoa, what is physically moving and changing around me? What things can I interact with, play with, experience in real life right now by being present, often like using using their senses, their body.
Pickier and pickier as you become more and more powerful.
They become more and more powerful.
When you have your first 4 kids, it'll be a whole different.
My first 4 kids?
Yeah.
How many am I having?
I'm saying about-
Sounds like there's more after the 4.
You don't want 8 kids?
I was looking for 36 kids.
It's funny because I think Emma's extrovert feeling and extrovert sensing work together a lot in her humor. Her extrovert feeling is really good at reading other people and understanding outside expectations, but her extrovert sensing, I think, makes her especially good at interacting in the moment, sort of like reacting and improvising. Do you see how she's really, really good at that?
You're a movie star. I took the wind out of you, didn't I?
I just have a really long cigarette in my hand all of a sudden. But an interesting.
That's your helicopter.
That's just my helicopter honking.
Here also, do you see how what Emma plays around with when she's reacting and improvising? It's usually, again, in that physical sensory playground. Oh, imagine if I had like a really long cigarette, or oh, that was my helicopter honking. Do you see how the funny ideas, possibilities that Emma comes up with? They're almost always connected to real life, a twist on real things that you can visualize, things that you could like sort of see in a picture or like a movie scene. I've noticed that personality types that use extrovert sensing do this a lot. It's like one of my favorite things about them. When they're joking around telling stories, there's something about the way that they describe things that's always putting funny, surprising visuals in my head. Whoa, I wasn't expecting to visualize that. Whoa, where's that idea coming from?
I confuse myself with my personality because half of me is like,
Again, he's not wrong, and yet there's a lack of complexity to what he's saying, and a lack of sort of intellectual robustness to it.
Yes. It's not intellectual. And that could be why he finds her funny too. He seems to like emphasize that.
I think he's trying to. I think he's trying to make a video that's gonna get good views and get him good subscribers and stuff. I think he's done a good job of that.
Yes.
I'm just not sure if I'm buying that he's an INTP. He seems kind of more like a ISFJ. But I think he probably got his quadra right. But then again, I mean, I don't know. Let's let him chat some more. Let's let him go. I have a feeling it's gonna be hard. We're gonna be hard pressed to throw him in jail. But let's see. Maybe he'll give himself away in some regard.
I'm pretty cool. It's really like having an idea of where things are going, what's coming. We're also gets very grown up, sort of like panicking, really stressing out.
so I thought they're full. They've got all the hand and footprints.
Right.
They're
Oh, the
already.
squares are full.
This is just a fun little celebration. And then they were like, "Here's your practice one." And then when you get out there for the real one that stays out there, you'll know what to do. And I was like, "What do you mean stays out there?" I had no idea. And then I burst into tears and really humiliated myself.
The other thing I noticed is Emma has this personal intuition, this sort of like gut feeling that she mentions quite a bit, that she seems to really trust and use sometimes to make some decisions. It looks like things are supposed to go over here. Like this is meant to be. Like the paths are converging in this direction.
Your mom told me that you actually told her that if you didn't go to LA, you would die.
You're right.
And so,
If I can feel again that gut instinct, I just felt that was. It was meant to be, and it had to happen. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just something eventually clicks, and the thing makes sense. And I don't always know what that is.
Watching Emma, there are a lot of strong signals for something called introverted intuition, a special way of bringing things together and connecting the dots that really likes to think about, when I sort of look underneath the surface, if I pay attention to what's going on around me, where do I sort of get this abstract sense things are going? Personality types use introverted intuition all the time, naturally love guessing ahead, thinking ahead, trying to see what's around the corner. They naturally think about things in terms of the long-term implications of things, trajectory of things. They're always trying to get this abstract sense of like the future path of things, where things are headed.
What I would tell kids that are going through anxiety, which I have and can relate to, you're so normal, it's crazy.
I think he's missing the boat a little bit there on NI, but regardless, I don't want to nitpick his analysis. I would point out that he seems to be repeating the same point multiple times without really explicating upon it.
That indicate high front stack SI.
Well, it would suggest to me not ego block NE, and I guess I should have said explicating it rather than on it. It doesn't do the preposition there. He's not adding anything with his additional thoughts, right? So even in that instance there where I originally say he's just repeating it, and I say I want to clarify what I mean by repeating. He's not adding anything with his additional thoughts. So I'm adding at least a definition there. He's not doing that with his repetition at all. It is true that NE types front stack will repeat themselves, but it seems to be indicative of how high up in the stack it is as to how much they literally repeat themselves. Let's give them a little bit more time.
Doing my research, I found this like hour-long video where Emma talks quite openly and bravely about her anxiety, how it's affected her, especially like growing up. The anxiety that Emma describes is really, really intense. Anxiety is something that's super separate from your personality type. Like every personality type can be really, really anxious. But thinking about this from a personality type perspective, Emma's anxiety plus her introverted intuition, it seems like that's sometimes been a really intense, scary combo for her.
I was at a friend's house. I was over at a friend's house, and all of a sudden, I was absolutely convinced the house was on fire and it was burning down. I was just sitting in her bedroom, and obviously the house wasn't on fire, but there was nothing in me that didn't think we were going to die. Paranoid about everything. And it got to the point where, she needed to come help at school. My brother's 2 years younger. I couldn't see her, but I needed to know exactly what the day was going to be. And she would repeat it over and over to me. And friends at that age, 8-year-olds,
Right.
aren't really going to understand that, like, oh no, I can't leave the house because if I do, my mom will die.
In quite a few interviews, Emma tells the story about when she was 14. She made this PowerPoint presentation to explain to her parents, to tell her parents that she wanted to move to LA to pursue her dreams, follow her passions, and try to become an actor. At first I was like, oh, that's cute. That's a cool story. That's definitely sort of like in line with her personality that likes to think ahead, think about the future path. After hearing about the anxiety thing, how intense and crippling that was for her, it really amazes me that she had that much personal conviction about the acting, that she had the courage to launch herself.
Okay, so thoughts, Rachel?
I don't think that he's a TI Dom.
Note what he did there. He just chose to convey her relating a personal story from her past as an example of her being future-looking NI. That's not a TI Dom move right there. That is not a TI Dom move. Rain or Sky Gear or any of the TI Doms around the channel would tear me to pieces if I tried to pull that shit. What he just tried to pull. I don't know how many people caught it on the fly, but it's worth repeating. Literally repeating in this instance. He tried to position that lady, what was that lady's name?
Emma Stone.
Emma Stone's relating of a personal story from her past as an example of NI. In other words, it is the case that he's right about her. She's probably an ENFJ or an INFJ, which is where he's going with this. But it is not the case that that particular piece of evidence supported his case. And he just pretended like it did, basically. So, and across the board, he seems way too FE aware for an INTP. I think this guy's either an ISFJ or an INFJ himself. He probably does well on TI style stuff in school, or did well in TI style stuff in school or something, and so he concluded he's an INTP. But he can continue to conclude that in jail.
Yeah.
Because I don't buy it.
No, not an INTP.
Not buying it. Sorry, Mr. Man. Eric Wen. You are now Eric when you were in jail. How do you like that, mister? It's a play on your name. I used humor. I used extroverted intuition to humor. You've got 48,000 subscribers. It's not impossible for an INTP to get that many subs. I would say that, what's his name? Love Who? That guy. He's an INTP, and he's got a lot of subs. But you ain't know him, and he watch his videos and you can see the difference. Easy as pie that is made out of easiness berries, which is very, very easy, let me tell you.
I don't even think that some INTPs would even know about like celebrity stuff, like, or care about that at all. Like,
Well,
it doesn't seem.
one could simply argue that he's chosen a means of getting good views for his videos. He has to make it about something that people care about, so he picks celebrities or whatever, and that's all well and good.
Yeah.
But across the board, the whole thing smells too much of FE and probably NI, but maybe FES, maybe ISFJs. ISFJs can always surprise you with some very intuitiveness, ishness, whatever you want to say that word is. Here's your going to jail, Mr. Wen. Hear that? That's the sound of you going to jail, buddy. All right. Well, Lieutenant Rachel, good job today.
Me too.
I'm glad we were able to accomplish this without having to deploy any weapons.
No weapons.
For a change, you know.
Yeah.
Usually you gotta bash them on the head with the baton.
Yep, that's how I get them.
Well, anyway, thanks for watching.
Type police.
Try as you might. Good work today, Rachel. Good work.
Thanks. Good work, Eric.
Oh, I muted the wrong one. Oh, shit. Okay, let's redo that ending, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so this time you're gonna get that little wrong ending, but now you're gonna get this right ending as a bonus ending. So thanks for watching.
Type please.
Fucking fuck. One more time.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Type please.
Try as you might, you just can't type, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, type police. Please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted, sensing